Everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to perform CRUD operation like create, read, update and delete for images in Google Drive using the Google Credential Manager for React Native, and this will be specifically for React Native Android. Now I have already made a video about this, but that was using the old Google sign-in. This is using Credential Manager. So firstly you will have to just create a React Native project. Don't worry about all this code, I will just show that code later on. Just create a React Native project. Obviously I will be using the new architecture, and first you will have to go to Google Cloud Console, and here you will have to create a new project. So I'll just click on new project. Give your project whatever name you feel like. I'll just click on create. Now it will create the project for me. Let's just wait for few seconds, sorry. So it has created the project for me. I'll just select my project. In the meantime, what you can do is you also need to open Android Studio. So I'll just close this. Here you can see this is my Android Studio, and what you will have to do is you will have to open this Android folder which you see inside your React Native project inside Android Studio. So here it is already, I have already opened it, that's why it was showing it to me. But if it not, you can just click on open project if it is not showing for you. Then what we'll have to do, once this project is selected, just select here, click on API and services, enable API and services, and firstly go to enable API and services, and here you will have to search for Google Drive. Select this, enable it, then go to credentials, create credentials, click on API key. We won't be using the API key, but anyways I have just created it just for the sake of it, just to be on the safer side. I'll just close this. Then again click on create credentials, OAuth client ID, click on configure consent screen, then click on external, click create. Here you can give your app whatever name you feel like. I'll just give it as my app. Here you enter your support email ID. Then here again you can just enter your own email ID. So yeah, this is fine. evidence@gmail.com. I'll just close this and I'll click on save and continue. Next again here you can just click on save and continue. Now here is the interesting part. So I have not deployed my app to Google Play Store yet, so that's why I need to add test users, and here whatever test user you add, you will have to test it with that same email ID when you run your application. Once you deploy it to Google Play Store, you will have to do some extra steps over here so that any user, even if it is not a test user, can access access the Google Drive feature which you have implemented, which I will show you shortly. So just click on add user, and here I will enter my email ID because this is the email ID I will be testing it. I'm not deploying it to Google Play Store or App Store. So yeah, I'll just click on add. You can add multiple users as well. So here you can see it has added. Just click on save and continue again, and I'll scroll down. I'll click on back to dashboard, and here you can see this is the publish app section. So if you're deploying it to Google Play Store, you will have to click on this publish app section and fill in all the details whatever they have asking. I'm not doing that. So I'll just again go back to credentials, click on create credentials, OAuth client ID, select Android. Here you should enter your package name. So I'll just go to my Android folder, app build.gradle, and here is my package name. So I'll just copy this and I'll open and I'll paste it over here. Now here we require the SHA-1 certificate. So given that I have not created a release APK, for debug APK there is one command. Okay, let me just open that command. It is inside my Flutter project. So here this is the command which you need to run inside your Android Studio terminal. Okay, I'll just copy this inside my React Native project as well, so that you guys are not confused. So here is our React Native project. Again, don't worry about this my drive module, I will show you that code later on. But given that I haven't created release APK, I'll have to run this particular command inside my terminal. So I'll just open the terminal of Android Studio, and here I'll just run this particular command. So here I will quickly get the SHA-1 certificate. You can also run this particular command, but I have found that sometimes this command gives the wrong SHA-1 certificate. For production you should use this one, the key tool dash list v. So here you will have to replace this with your release key store, release key debug release alias name, release store password, as well as release key password. And if I scroll up here again, so scroll up at the very top, and here you can see Android debug APK. So this is my SHA-1. So I'll just copy it and I'll paste it over here. If there is any space, remove it. Okay, and then click on if you are again deploying it to Google Play Store, you will have to click on verify ownership. I'm not doing that, I'll just click on create. Then here it has generated this client ID. This is pretty much useless because for Android we will be using the web client ID, but we need to create this Android client ID. So just click on create credential, auth client ID, select web application, just click create, and here I will copy this client ID. I will paste it inside my application because I need to use it later on. Okay, I'll paste it over here. I'll click OK. Now let's have a look at the code. So before I show you guys the code, it's important that you open this particular URL. So here this is the way of creating turbo modules or native module in React Native's new architecture. I will be copying a lot of code from this, so it's better you keep this open. So let's get started with the code. So here, like as usual, this is our React Native application. Now for new architecture, we have to enable it, we have to search for new arc enabled. It will be present inside your gradle.properties inside your Android folder, and you have to make this as true. Once you do that, we have to create a folder called RTN my drive. You can name it whatever you feel like, but it's better you follow my naming conventions because this folder name is very important. Based on that we will be naming subsequent things, so it's better you follow what I am doing. So here I have created a folder called RTN my drive. Inside that, firstly create a package.json file. I have copy pasted it from the documentation. The only thing which I have changed is this thing, as well as the package name. Okay, then I have created a folder called JS. Inside that I have created this TypeScript file, and again I have copied it from documentation. I have added all these methods of my own, and this particular thing has been changed. So firstly we'll have to log in using Credential Manager, so Google sign in. Logout I'm not really using it, but I have kept the code in case if you are interested. Then once the user has logged in, we have to call this particular method to get access to Google Drive. This is very important. Before you perform any kind of operation, upload, read, update, delete, this permission is very important, otherwise your app will crash. Then for uploading, I'm just selecting an image, I'm passing the image URI as well as the email of the signed in user. Same for reading as well. So once you upload, you will get a file ID. With the help of the file ID, we are reading that image. Same for updating as well, and same for deleting as well. Then you will have to create a folder called Android. Inside that, create build.gradle file. Again I have copy pasted it from the documentation. Only thing is I have changed this particular thing, so whatever is the latest version at the time of you guys watching the video, make sure you use that version. Then I have added this apply plugin Kotlin Android. Then here is our compile SDK of 34. Namespace is RTN my drive. Okay, and then this I have copied it from the documentation. Everything is copied from documentation. Make sure you add this packaging as well. We need to exclude this resources because we are including some Google Drive dependency. If you don't add this particular thing, you will get a runtime error, your app won't build. Compile time error itself, your app won't build. And here I have changed the namespace. Rest everything I have copied it from documentation. I think compile SDK you can also move it to 35. This I have copied it from documentation. These three dependencies are for Credential Manager, so basically for Google sign in. Then for Google Drive dependency, these three are the dependencies. To check the latest version for this as well as this, you can go to this URL as well as this URL which I have specified. And I have also included lifecycle runtime because I want to make use of Kotlin coroutines. Once that is done, go to src, create all this folder main java com rtn my drive. First create my drive package.kt. again I have just copy pasted this from the documentation. Only thing which I have changed is this particular name over here. Then this name has been changed, this has been changed, this as well as this has been changed. Rest everything remains the same. Then here I have created a folder called my drive module.kt. again I have copied it from the documentation, so this is our package name. So there are a lot of imports, so I'll simply scroll through this. You can copy paste all these imports. It's better you copy paste what imports I have, because there are multiple imports for a single thing, and it's very highly likely that you might copy the wrong import. And these are all the steps for getting the credentials, which we have already done. These are the documentation links in case if you are interested. Then here again we create our my drive module. We also extend activity event listener, and here is our Google ID option. Here is our lifecycle hook, and here is our global promise, which will help us to send data from native Android to React Native side. Here is our credential manager as well. Here we add our listener, and here we just call on activity result, and if the request code is proper. So I'll come back to this, ignore this for now. On activity result we are just overriding from this activity event listener as well as this as well. Then here once the login method is called, I have already made a video about credential manager Google sign-in, so I won't go into details. So this is how you do Google sign-in. Important thing is the server, the client ID which we copied from Google Cloud Console, here you should use your own client ID. Don't copy mine, it won't work for you. So make sure you replace this thing. Rest everything is remain the same. So here is our request. Here we call the get credential, and then we call handle sign in. So if you see the handle sign in, this is for passkey, we are not using that. This is for password, no. So here we come for Google sign in. So here we get all the details, and if you see I'm only sending the person ID, which is the email. But if you want, I'm sending this back to React Native side, but if you want you can send display name, person, photo, whatever you feel like. I have kept things simple. Okay, so that's it for login. This is for logout. I'm not really using it, but if you want you can use this particular code. This is for getting the permission of Google Drive. So I will show you the demo later on. Things will be more clearer for you. So here this is how we get permission to Google Drive, and the user will see a pop-up model from Google Drive asking them for permission, and the user will either accept it or deny it. If this is for the very first time, the control will come over here, and as you can see I can't really use register for activity result. I would like to have used that, but it's impossible to use that inside a turbo module. If you know a better way, do let me know in the comments. That's why I'm using still on activity result. So here you can see if the user is asking for the permission for the very first time, this gets called, and the callback comes over here. So this particular part on activity result, and it will come over here. If the user gives us the permission, then I'm just displaying a toast message. If you want, again you can send this to React Native site, just like I have done it for login, and in case of failure I'm just displaying a toast message as well. If the user already has the permission, and if he clicks on again, then he will just come over here, okay, in the else clause. In case if anything goes wrong, he will come either over here or over here. Okay, then for uploading, basically we will select one image from our photos app, and once we have the URI, we send it back to native Android side. So here is our URI, this is the email as well. Okay, and here we just call this upload method, which I will show you shortly. Same for read as well, we will get the email. File ID we will get it from our upload method, and this is our promise. So we just call this read method, which I will show you shortly. Similarly for update as well, here is our URI, email as well as file ID, and we just pass our URI, email as well as file ID. Similarly for delete, we pass the email as well as file ID, and we pass it to our delete file. This is a helper method which I have created. So once we get the image URI from the selected image, we have to convert it to file. So this helper method I have just created, you can just copy paste this particular thing. Similarly for getting the file extension, I have created this particular helper method. You don't have to worry too much about it. Even if you don't understand it, that's fine. Even I don't understand it completely. And this is for copying stream, again just copy paste it, that's fine. So here is our upload method. So firstly, this entire code which you see, this is boilerplate code every time you perform any CRUD operation. So here you can see we require this email, so we get hold of this Google Drive service from this particular thing. Okay, then we convert our image to this Google Drive file image, and then we just create a file content, and then we just call create method over it, and this will upload our image to Google Drive. And once that is uploaded, I'm just passing the file ID back to React Native side. Okay, in case of failure here, this will be called, you can handle the failure however you feel like. This is for reading. Again, the same thing which I mentioned, Google Drive service. If you want, you can extract this out in a separate function as well. Then here we just create a byte array output stream. Here we read that particular file, and ignore this for now. Then here we create an output stream, and then I convert it to base 64 and I send it back to React Native side. If you want to convert it to bitmap, you can use something like this as well, but I think sending bitmap to React Native side is not possible, at least according to my understanding. But yeah, let me know in case I'm missing something. This is for deleting the file. So here is our credential, Google Drive same, and here we just pass our uploaded file ID and it will delete it permanently. If you don't want to delete it permanently, if you just want to move the file to thrash, you can uncomment this particular line of code and comment this out, but I want to delete it permanently, that's why I'm using this. Okay, then here is our update. So we just pass the media URI, email, as well as the uploaded file ID. So again, the same thing for Google Drive scope. This is our file metadata, file content. We create a file out of the URI, and then we just update it, as you can see over here. Okay, and here we have, this is React Native's code. So I have just copied it from Turbo module, and here is all the companion objects which I have created. Okay, so I'll simply scroll through this again in case if you have missed it. I'll simply scroll through this, pause the video wherever you feel like, and you can copy paste all the code which I have. Okay, so that's it. Next thing what you have to do is, you will have to go to the main Android folder, go to app build.gradle file, and here also you will have to add this packaging resource exclude. This is just part of the Google Drive dependency which we have to add. Otherwise, when you try to run your application, you will get error regarding this, so it's important you add this. Okay, then so this part is done. Then you will have to open your terminal, go to the root of your React Native project. Firstly, run this particular command. Once you run that, you will have to do cd ... It will move you outside your React Native project inside your terminal, and then you will have to run this particular command. But here, instead of rnapp drive, you will have to write your own project name. So as you can see, my project name is rnapp drive, so I have changed it over. You will have to change it over here, as well as over here. So in 3 places, this is our folder name. Once this is done, we will have to cd to the main Android folder and then run this particular command. So this will do code generation for Android. And okay, so this I have already told you. Now to use it, I have installed this particular dependency, React Native image picker, so you can use that as well. Now here you can see I have imported RTNMy drive as well as launch image library from React Native image picker. Here is some states for email, file ID, as well as base 64 image. First button is for login, second button is for logout, then I have a third button for getting the permission of Google Drive, then I have fourth button for launching the photo, and once the user picks a photo, I'm just getting the first image URI and I'm just passing it to our upload method over here. And once I get the file identifier, I'm setting it to our file ID. This is for reading, so I'm passing email as well as file ID. And once I get the image, I just set it to base 64 use state. This is for deleting. Again, this is for updating. So here, once I have the image, I just get the URI and I call update over here. Okay, and this is, I'm just displaying the email of what the user has selected, and this is the file ID as well. of what the file has been, file id of the uploaded file. And once I have the base64 not equal to empty string, then I'm just displaying this image tag as well, this image component as well. Okay, now I have just blurred the output because I will click on the login screen, and as soon as I click on login screen, it will display a modal with all the email IDs which I am using on my current Android device, and I don't want to leak that. So but here you will have to select that particular email ID which you have added inside your Google Cloud Console. Don't, as a test user, don't select other email IDs. Only select other IDs if you have published it to Google Play Store and have done all the changes on Google Play on the Google Cloud Console as well. So I'll just select the Brave Evidence email ID which I have added. Okay, now this is successful. Okay, so now what I will do is I'll just click on this get permission button. So I have already tested this. Sorry, I won't be able to show you guys the pop-up modal. But if you're doing this for the very first time, you will see a pop-up modal. There will be two modals which you will see. If you have not deployed it to Google Play Store like me, you will see a warning message that this app is not deployed to Google Play Store, something like that. Just click on continue. Don't click on back to safety button. Click on continue, and then you will see all the permissions which we are asking from Google Drive. Just click on allow, but I have already allowed it, that's why it is not allowing me to show it again. Okay, I'll click on upload now, and here I will just select this particular image. If you want, you can display a progress bar as well, and here you can see the image has been uploaded. I'm getting the file ID as well as the image was uploaded successfully. And if I go to my Google Drive, I'll go to home, and here you can see, oh sorry, I'll have to refresh. Here you can see the first image which I picked is uploaded. Now what I'll do is I'll just click on read. So here you can see I'm able to read that particular image as well. Now I want to update it. I'll just select the second image which I have. The file ID remains the same. Okay, so the update was successful, and if I go to Google Drive, if I just show you the updated image, here you can see the updated image. If you want, you can read it again as well. If I read it again, here you can see this is the updated image, and if I delete it, the image should be deleted from our Google Drive as well. So the file was deleted. If I go to Google Drive, if I try to refresh, here you can see the file was deleted. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.